Alright, fuck it. Here goes nothing. Ladies, gentlemen, and all others, my name is Wicked, coming at you live from Los Angeles, California. Today is November 1st, and to many different people, that can mean many different things. If you're a writer, you're probably thinking of NaNoWriMo, which is National Writing Month. To us Americans, the election's in 5 days. I don't think anyone's excited for that. But to many people across the internet, it's the first day of No Nut November, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's a challenge where you go without masturbating for 30 days. It actually started out as a meme, but strangely, it has slowly evolved into sort of like a movement for sexual health, but most importantly, quitting pornography, which is what I want to talk about today. If you're not familiar with porn addiction, yeah, is a thing. It's just like any other drug. It's like heroin, cocaine, meth. It basically works by just overloading your brain with dopamine, and our brains are not designed for that amount of pleasure, so we become dependent on it and just keep going back and wanting more and more of a high. It's just like a drug. So today I'm going to share my story about porn addiction. I'm going to share how it affected my life, and I'm going to share how I quit it, most importantly, which hopefully this will be something that'll work for you. So basically, to start off, I first watched porn, or was exposed to it, when I was around 11, 12 years old, which honestly is pretty old for getting exposed to porn. A lot of kids nowadays are like 7 years old, which is way too fucking young, in my opinion. Basically, over time, I started watching it more and more. It's what I'd use to cope with my sadness sometimes. And then I got into a very long 2-year relationship with a girl in high school. This was a big fucking deal, and I made a couple decisions. I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit porn and just stop other unhealthy stuff in my life that was going on at the time that I won't get into here. But basically, after we broke up, that's when things started escalating a lot. When I got into college, I basically was like, okay, I need something to basically fulfill the desire of wanting to have sex now that I don't have a girlfriend anymore. So it started off small. It would be like, every now and then I'd watch it. Then it became a thing where it would be like my reward for the end of the week. Then over time, it started to slowly become less and less controllable and more sporadic. It would go from Saturday to Saturday and Sunday to Saturday, Sunday, and maybe a weekday, and it was just like, okay. And then eventually I realized I couldn't decide when to stop. And it wasn't so bad that I was like doing it at school or something, but it was at the point where I couldn't just be like, I'm not gonna do it today. And that's when I realized it was an issue. Basically, at this point, I was like, okay, life kind of sucks. Porn is making things worse, and I want to find a way to quit it, which is probably a position that many of you are in right now. So, this was my method for quitting. The thing that did work, okay, is that I found this organization called Fight the New Drug, which I believe is a non-profit, basically advocating for people to stop watching porn. But more importantly, they spread awareness of how the porn industry works, which, if you're like me and you're sort of just wrapped up in consuming it and trying to feel good and get your next high or whatever, you probably didn't even think about what kind of happens behind the camera. And on their channel, they have testimonials from sex workers, particularly women, who have gone through the industry and just have like fucking horror stories about what's happened to them. It ranges from all kinds of things. It ranges from them being like, okay, I'm gonna get in the industry because I need money, to basically being kidnapped and assaulted on camera for profit. But basically, after finding that out, it just occurred to me that I couldn't tell if a video was consensual or not. What if I had watched someone getting sexually assaulted and gotten off to it? That just made me feel so horrible. Porn didn't really become a health issue, but a moral one. And I think after going down that rabbit hole, I basically tried watching porn like one more time, and I just couldn't enjoy it because in the back of my head, I was like, how do I know that this person has consented? How do I know that this person is doing this willingly? That was in March of 2023, and I quit. I went completely cold turkey. I have not viewed porn since, and that has been the thing that has worked. Not no fap, not, slowly taking it out, not like the whole thing of like, oh, it's like, sexual health for men, or like the alpha male thing. Like, no. Because again, as soon as I found out how the industry worked, my perspective of porn shifted from a health issue to a moral issue with health benefits. Because I mean, like, picture if that was like your mom or your sister or your best friend, like whatever important women are in your life, like that would be horrible. I don't want that to happen to anyone, and I don't want to supply the demand, so, I just stopped. I just quit immediately. Having quit porn now, I'll talk about some of the benefits that it has had for my life and how things have just improved generally. So for one, my motivation is much better now. It's easier to just get out of bed, and I sort of enjoy the more mundane things in life. Just taking care of myself generally. It's just easier, It's also just way easier to tell who you're actually attracted to, and you're not just some, super horny youngster who's just attracted to every person that you see. But honestly, I think the biggest change was honestly just my relationships with women, and a huge shift in perspective and a realization of how porn affected my relationships with women in the past. I mentioned the 2-year-long relationship I had with my ex-girlfriend, and I really did not realize until recently how big of an effect porn had on that relationship. It's fair to say that we both sort of had our contributions for making the relationship a toxic one, but I didn't really realize why I did what I did for a long time, and I think porn is probably one of the largest factors in it. Porn basically affected my relationship with my ex because I just set unreasonable expectations for her, and then when she didn't meet them, I would get frustrated and somehow feel insecure about like dating her or something, all this stupid crap, and frankly, if I ever talk to her again, I owe her a big apology. And frankly, if you're watching this right now, you know who you are. I'm sorry. If you want to have a conversation about it, I'm all ears. So all in all, I just encourage you to do your own research about how porn affects your body, but more importantly, how it affects other people who work in the industry. Because for me, that was the big thing. And as soon as I found that out, I stopped. It was just day one. Haven't done it since. Never want to again. And again, I know No Nut November is like a meme and it's been joked about all the time, but I really do want to try to contribute and open up a conversation about porn addiction and do my best to do my part to help other people. Because people always argue that our generation's cigarettes are like vaping, but it's not. It's porn, and a large reason that is because so many people use it, but they're ashamed to talk about it. And I don't want that shame to be there anymore. So let's start a conversation. Share your story in the comments. Share anything that helped you stop your porn addiction. And let's make this day one. Let's make this day one that you stop watching porn. All it takes is the decision to try to stop. And if you ever need more encouragement, I'm planning on making more videos to basically sort of vlog my own journey. Because while I did quit pornography, I didn't quit masturbating. So this year in November, I'm going to be doing this journey right along with you. And all in all, that's really it. All I can say now is just be kind to others and always do what you love as long as it doesn't harm yourself or harm others. And I wish you all a very good rest of your day. Good luck this November. You can do it.